Hey, good day, YouTubers out there. This is Bruce with This and That and Other Things, and I'm kind of starting up a channel of things that I like and have interest in, and hopefully tips and tricks and just various items that that maybe might help out what you're doing or have an interest in what you're doing. And not to say that this is things that I do or the right or wrong way, but we're going to give it a shot and see where this thing goes. Anyway, we're going to be working on my camper today. And my camper has an outside kitchen, and it's a Coleman camper, and so it comes with a slide out propane oven. At the time that we got the camper, we thought, man, this is really cool. Thought we'd use it. Been out a few times, not really liking the setup. And I've got a griddle at home, and we really enjoy that. And I thought, why don't I just replace the stovetop with a griddle that's a little more universal. I can cook on it, steaks, hamburgers, cook breakfast, and just it probably gives me a little more utilization of the outside kitchen that it provides. And so I've kind of started on it already, so I'm not going to be able to show you the YouTube on when I pulled the propane oven or stove out of the unit. But anyway, this is what it was. So I'm going to turn the camera around here. Alright, so this is what was in my outside kitchen. And so sorry it's kind of jumpy. I'm trying to hold my iPad here that I have. But anyway, this is kind of what was in that. Let me open it up here. It was a nice concept, but really, I just couldn't utilize it. I looked at different options, maybe getting an external griddle to put on top of it, but the knobs were too tall, and I'm afraid that it would probably end up melting the knobs. So I end up taking this off. So what I chose to do, I made measurements of my area that I had this in, and I found out that this would work. This Blackstone 22-inch, and it's the area that it came out of is probably going to work just fine for it. I might have to do a little bit of retrofitting, which we'll show you guys when I start on this. But got a really good deal on this. Got it at Camping World. They had an online coupon. They honored it at the store. Picked it up a really decent price. So we're going to check this out, and hopefully it's going to work for what I need and want to do with it for this camping season. So we're going to do a little unboxing, see what's all in the box, because I haven't even opened it up yet. All right, guys. So here's the unboxing. So we'll see how this rolls. See what's in here. So let me find my knife. And let's open this puppy up. I'm just kind of a newbie in the griddle world, so I'm learning a lot. So far, I've been enjoying it. Haven't ruined any meals yet. I'm going to learn a lot more. So it looks like it's pretty well packed. All the proper styrofoam in here. And let's get this pulled out. again, your manual. The old model 1842. Comes with a cover with this package. So that's pretty cool. Yep. Looks like we get the feet in the packaging, so we need to put those on there. Get that off. And that off. The griddle is packaged upside down. Check this out. Okay. So one of the big sellers of this that I was looking at, because I was looking at different brands. Camp Chef, Pit Boss, and kind of thing that really sold me on this, guys, is the H burners. So I want to make sure I got something that would cook on the griddle, pretty even surface all the way across. And so with this H burner, I'm hoping that I made the right decision. I think it's probably going to give the proper heating across, and for this small a grill, it gives me 2 zones. And so the griddle I have at home only has 1 zone, which it works, it gets by, but I think having a dual zone is going to probably work a lot nicer. So that is that. And we're typical guys here, and we don't look a lot at the manuals until we really need to. So let's we got the feet here, and I would think it's pretty elementary how the feet would go on. So it looks like we got 4 holes here. We got the feet. We got the feet, nut. Pretty elementary, guys. So stick it through there. We're going to. I know you're not seeing this, but it's just a plain old nut with rough edges on it, so when you get it tightened down, that they stay in place. Get the other one put on here. I'm just going to hand tighten for right now, just to get him on here. This is a little better picture. This is with the nut. It's got the rough edges on here, so supposedly that keeps it from coming loose. So get this on here. I kind of need to know where these are at, because the shelf that I left in the kitchen, I'm going to mark where the feet are, and then I'm going to put a groove in the shelf that these feet will fit into, so when I'm traveling with the camper, it doesn't slide around. They're kind of in their own little slot, and hopefully won't move when I'm driving down the road with the camper. So that's my theory. So hang on here. I'm going to pause the camera and be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So I didn't want to bore you with tightening down the nuts that hold the feet on, so I just did that real quick. All right, so I'm going to remeasure. I don't know how many times I've measured this, guys, but my little opening I have in my camper is about 25 and a quarter. 22-inch griddle here. I got a 22-inch griddle, which you can see is 22 inches. Plus we have the fitting here, which is about 23 inches. So, but I know that I'm going to need a little bit more room. The little gas valve that comes with this thing I'm not going to use. I'm going to use a RV hose hookup in my camper. So I don't have to depend on a tank, like little 1 pound tanks or carry around another tank, because I've got the propane in the camper and it has quick connects for the propane. So that's my theory on how I'm going to use this thing. I need to go buy a hose. I haven't bought the hose yet because Camping World, we're out of them, and so I wasn't able to get one. But I think my local supplier here in my hometown has the hose that I need, so I'll probably go down there and pick one up from them. And so I have that to use. So hopefully, if all works well, I won't have to do too much retrofitting to get this thing to fit in there. So we'll see how this goes. So, but the other things, guys, I didn't show you. Let's get this out of the way. There's the griddle. Good heavy-duty griddle. Look at different options for the area that I want to have. This was kind of a nice deal. I mean, they all have is grease catchers, and it's just depending on where the grease catchers are located at, was going to also determine what griddle I was going to go with. And this one had a detachment for the griddle on the back side. So let me put this on here, guys. Let me show you here. But the griddle would go. I won't put it on here, but technically that's how it sits on here, and then your grease and stuff will go right into here. And then everything's mounted on here on the back side. So out of the way, and so that's kind of why I chose that. So hopefully it's a good choice. We'll see. From what my measurements are, I probably am going to have to move this out when I'm done using the griddle, because I don't think the shelf is going to slide in far enough having this attachment on here. So, but we'll see when we get down that road. But got it all unboxed. I guess the next thing we do, we go out to the camper, pull the shelf out, and let's see what fits or doesn't fit. All right, guys, here's my outdoor kitchen. So here is my dilemma I need to figure out. So this is the shelf. Let me get this snap off of here. So this is the shelf that I'm going to try to get everything fit onto. And I'm hoping that I'm not going to have to rebuild this shelf on this, but I think it probably will work fine. I don't care that there's an empty spot underneath there, because this is probably where the hose is going to, the RV hose is going to be underneath. So here my dilemma here is, as you can see, there's a shelf right here. This shelf, from what I can see, doesn't support anything. It's just an extra shelf. So that thing has got to come out in order for me to get this thing to work in here. So you're going to probably see me struggle and trying to figure out how to get this out without butchering up and making this thing look terrible. And I think everything's just pin nailed in, and I think it should come out fairly nice. We'll have to figure out something different probably for this business here to come out. maybe I'll move the shelf up higher on here, but we'll dive into that here, and we'll see. So let's see how this thing fits on here. I know it won't slide inside, but I just want to make sure that my measurements are correct. So hang on here. All right, guys, so I got it sitting on here. So it looks like it's going to sit on this shelf just fine. And I see where it's a little bit too tall, especially will be when I get the griddle on here. But I think the problem of it is, guys, see my hose connection and this outer opening may be a problem. So what may have to happen, and which is not a big deal, is probably just unscrew that when I'm done using the griddle so that I can slide the griddle in. Otherwise, peel away a little bit in order for it to work. And I really don't want to do that if I don't have to. So I think I can probably just take that shelf out and make it work that way. So, all right, guys. So probably not the best video, but since it's my first video, but learn as we go, right? We're going to take this off so I can see how things are mounted. Okay, so we need to figure out how this is all nailed in so I can take it out without ruining everything. And you can see you can come up from the bottom and get that off there. So let's take that, give that a shot. Coming off good. Loose. Push that up out of the way. So now we got 4 little supports in here. We need to pull this out to show you. So those I have to take out. And knowing how campers are made, I think they're probably just pin nailed in. But I'm going to give it a shot here. So be patient. Take my chisel and scraper, see if I can get behind this thing and work these staples loose. Without breaking anything. got those in there good too. See if I can keep my claw hammer there. Oh yeah. Oops. There we go. They were long pin nails. Alright, there's one. So it looks like I'm going to have to pull the pin nails up from the refrigerator side. So let's get the back side off. That's up. So it was just a shelf, wasn't designed to carry a lot of weight to it at all. Just to have Alright, so that I got all those shelf supports off. Now, we look in here. And see how this middle shelf is put in here. Get one more shelf support to take off. So I guess we'll get that after that. Slow and easy. The better you go slow at something, the less likely you'll have catastrophes at the end. Alright, that one's out. Well, now we need to see what's holding this middle support in. Looks like it's just toenailed in as well. I think. Yep, there we go. Alright. So we got that out, guys. So I'm going to show you this. If you can still see me, I touched something, and I think the video's still going. So anyway, so hang on here, guys. Alright, hang on. I'm going to do a little video editing, looks like, because I got touched something that shouldn't be. Alright, guys, so here is, I got that shelf out, so I said, you know, when you put these campers together, they do them quick, down, and dirty. And so everything is just toenailed in with little staples for that shelf. Like I said, it wasn't meant to hold a whole lot. But that and that middle reveal piece is held on by those little businesses there. So I'll have to get those out of the way. But other than that, I think we got this done. So we're going to pause it, and I'm going to get these staples taken out. All right, guys. So we have this upper shelf taken out. I've got the griddle set, I think, where I want. All the way out. We got room back here for the drip pan. And it's away from it's not touching the back anywhere. If I slide this back in, we're looking good. It's fitting on the inside. There's the connection. Like I said, I'm just going to have to just unscrew it, screw it back in when I'm not using it, which is fine. Completely fine. The door closes. I checked that out. So the next thing I'm going to do is the feet. I'm going to countersink a couple holes in the counter so the feet kind of have a place where they stay. Guys, I was going to put the upper shelf in there, but I'm thinking of not doing that because putting that upper shelf in there is really not going to get me anywhere other than what do you think, guys? I mean, there's not much, doesn't make much sense to have a shelf up above that. But throw a comment down below if you think I should. Give me an idea what you think should go there. I'm thinking that maybe mount some hooks in here and then I could have my spatulas and whatnot on that back wall where they can just stay there. But anyway, throw me your opinion on that. Well, YouTubers, remember when I started out that, sometimes I do things that maybe sometimes are right and sometimes they're wrong. Well, I had good intentions on making this deal work for my Blackstone Griddle. And I come to find out after talking with my significant other and then trying it out that it wasn't going to work. Mainly because this griddle gets really hot in that rubber seals that are on the store. I was really afraid that it was not going to be able to handle the heat and really cause some issues. So what we end up doing is this little deal here. I put everything back in place, and let me get this out here, and then I'll do some more explaining. So anyway, this is what it came with, and I put everything back in place again. So we've got the original stove, cooktop stove that came with this. And like I said, the griddle, we tried it. It was getting really hot around the edges, and I was just really concerned that my great thinking that it would work to have it mounted in there and have it travel that way and so forth, that it would be an awesome place. But reviewing and checking things out, I think it would have been a disaster and causing me more problems and grief that we really wanted to do. So we're still going to have it in there, but it's just going to be carrying the griddle when we drive. This way it kind of gives us a multiple of two uses. I can still use the cooktop stove, so if we want to cook potatoes, boil potatoes, or anything along that line, we can use that and pull out the griddle and make a stand for it or sit it on the picnic table and do that type of thing. So in order to have the griddle be in here, I had to make a little riser for it, and this is what I did. So if you look at this, I just had some particle board from an old desk that I made up, And so sorry I didn't do all the filming on it, but I really didn't feel that I needed to bore you guys with that. So, but anyway, made a nice little riser, drilled some holes in it for the feet of the griddle to sit so it doesn't move around. I used the existing lock back here, and I put the peg back here for it so that everything would hold in place. So when we get ready we have everything in place, things don't move around. I've got, oops, sorry guys, one-handed this deal, it's not working out good. But anyway, I put little felt pads in here to keep it from sliding from side to side. So I slide this in, I drop this down, and now it's locked in place. I'm not sure what I want to do with the top part of this, guys, so drop me a comment down below and how you think I should finish the top off, or does it really matter, or anything like that. But it works for what we want to do. So give me a second, and I'm going to put the griddle on top of here so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so the griddle is sitting on top of it, and I already seasoned it. I know at the beginning I showed you guys the unboxing of the griddle, and I already got everything else seasoned. It's ready to go for use, and this is what it looks like. So it's going to work out good. I mean, it's just a nice place to put it. It doesn't have to be underneath the storage of the front camper when we're traveling, getting banged around and so forth. And it's just a nice place for everything to be that we're going to be cooking outside with. So again, not quite the thought that I wanted to do at the beginning, but I think it's going to work just fine. Sometimes you go along with the idea with one thing, and it turns a whole different corner at the end that you realize that you have to make do with what we're doing. So, but anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I guess we can call this video the things that you don't do with the Blackstone Griddle and your camper. But till next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you want. I said I'm not doing this for money or anything like that, just kind of for informational purposes. So at this point in time, maybe down the road it'll change something different, but hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.